Six. Many people saw this light show in the Caribbean, and I think U.S. Caribbean mostly saw this light show in the sky. Many people saw that. So, um, I know. And something came to me. Like I noticed that yesterday was 369. It's March 6th, and it's also 9. We have to remember 2025 represents 9. We were told 7 is the perfect number, 9 is the perfect number. Do your research on 9. I think any number you multiply 9 with, it comes back to 9. 9 is that perfect number. So, so is it a coincidence that on that 369, that we had this light show in the skies? I know what we were told. I know what we have been told, that SpaceX disassembled or deintegrated or whatever in the skies. That's what we've been told. But um there's some of us out there, we don't believe, we don't go with everything we were taught, we don't go with everything that was told to us, because I got to see a nice a video from the start. I think that was in Westmoreland in Jamaica. And somehow it started like a cloud, a little cloud. And I'm looking, I'm like, oh my gosh, is that a portal opening in the sky? It started like a cloud within, just a little cloud, and then it got bigger. It's like a portal opened, and then this light show just started. And if you know before, and the way it entered the atmosphere is like it was with precision. It's not, and maybe it's me not knowing how a SpaceX this maybe me not knowing how something disintegrate in the atmosphere, but the that light was coming in with precision. It's not like when we watch um what do you call those, and a light show, and they just go up and then the flame, it just fall onto the ground. It was directly coming into the atmosphere. So when I saw that, I'm like, I don't know. And even the one before, there was another one a couple months ago, and I'm like, I don't believe this SpaceX story. I can't believe the SpaceX story, that somehow what we saw coming into the atmosphere is SpaceX disintegrating in the atmosphere, and giving us that light show coming in with such a precision to the earth. And before it gets to the earth, it just dissipates, and we don't see anything. We don't see any smoke. Really, I really can't buy that story. And if you follow my channel, you know we have to know that we're energy beings. We have to know the time that we're living in. We have to know the time that we're living in. We are living in, the Bible call it the last days, but it's the end of this programming. It's the end of this programming that we're in. Today I was thinking, I'm looking right now any day for the government to come out and tell us, oh, you've been lied to. We've been hiding who you really are. We've been hiding. We didn't teach you everything. I don't know. It's like something in me is thinking. Any day now, the governments around the world is just going to come out and tell us what's going on, because it is so much in our face. It is so much in our face that times are changing. that this earth is raising in vibration and frequency, and we're reading books that's telling us that, listen, that there's energy coming into the earth that's going to raise the vibrational frequency of the earth, because this earth has been in such a low density for such a long time, and it's time to this earth to raise its frequency of vibration. So this is the time we're living in. Everyone must be feeling something within them to tell them, oh, this, we're living in different times. We are living in different times. And I have to give it to TikTok. I think TikTok really started this ascension. We're living in a time where materialistic things, the things that we were taught, going to work, going to school, get married, um, do work the best jobs, be the head of the corporation. It's like it has no meaning anymore. I don't know for others out there, if you're in the chat and this is happening to you, let me know. Let me know. We're living in a time. We read the keys of, there's a book called The Keys of Enoch that tell us those who have souls are getting ready to ascend. And even those who doesn't have soul is here to evolve. So that's why this energy is affecting everyone. The only person that this is will affect negatively is those who are still materialistic, is those who can't feel this energy, is those who who's not affected by this frequency coming into the earth. There's a vibration coming. There's a raising of our energy. Listen, this is not who we are. That's physical body. We were told this is who we are, and we're physical. We're not physical beings. We're energy beings. We are energy beings. I had a dream that we, an aspect of us. Listen to it. Listen to this. An aspect of us live on every dimension. So this visible aspect of us is, we're in they call this the 3D. I think someone says 2D, but I think it's 3D dimension. And so that's why we're visible. And because an aspect of us is in this dimension, and another aspect of us is in the higher dimensions. So that's why you're not supposed to be worshiping anything outside yourself. I look at social media sometimes, and we can't get out of the fact that we shouldn't be worshiping anything outside ourselves. If an aspect of us lives on every dimension, why are we worshiping other people? Why? Hmm? Why are we bending down and calling out to the what we do? We give the source of our beings different names. That's what we do. So if an aspect of us lives on different dimension, why are we calling out and worshiping these names instead of going inside self? Ask your higher selves on different dimension what's going on. You come against this channel and you'll be like, I hear this lady saying some things about we're energy beings. There's an aspect of us that lives on different dimensions. We have to know ourselves. Man, know thyself. Know thyself. Because this is the time we're living in. It's beautiful. It's the end of this deceptive age. The age of Pisces. We're in the age of Aquarius. And it's so bigger than that. because it seems as if the controllers, whoever they are, um, have been controlling us by every 400 years. Um, they create a flood. They create even this things falling out of the sky. Um, Apocalypse. They every 400 years they create an apocalypse. Every 400 years they do. So a lot of these things that we see, that's why the Bible talk about the judgment day and Jesus coming back and Christ coming back and Christ coming back and all that, because every 400 years they create that judgment thing that they tell us in the Bible, and that's not what it is. It's just end of a program and the starting of a new program. So, um, so this 400 years starting of a new program coincide with the starting of the Aquarian age, a new age. So we have to understand this, and it's nothing to be feared. I know if you like this life, if you've been in this life and you like it so much, you could have it. You could have it. You want to stay. We reap what we sow. You know, we reap what we sow. So whatever's going on right now, we should be happy. We should be happy about what's going on, because we're living in a wonderful time. It's a wonderful time to be alive. If you understand who you are, if you understand um, this reality that we live in. And we have to be careful too. We have to know everything for ourselves, because I see some things on the internet. I'm like, oh my gosh, if there's a devil, which I don't believe in a devil, but there's some force that's trying to keep us in our lower vibration. There's a force that's trying to keep us in our lower vibration. So is it the goal for us to stay in this realm with whatever? And another thing, when I see this fire coming out of the sky, it reminded me of that movie Transformers. It just reminded me of Transformers and how the Autobots and all of them came to Earth. Just reminded me, every time I see this light show, I just think of that movie, Transformers. And in the movie, when I watch it, talked about how some people got here and they can't let, especially the last Transformer. I don't remember the exact name of the last one. And all the people got here and what happened, and they're stuck here. And when they see this light show, when they see the light coming in, they're thinking, oh, it's for us to get out. How do we get out? They know that it's beings coming in. So they're telling us that this light show is SpaceX burning up in the atmosphere. Everyone has their opinion. If you want to believe that, it's up to you. But something deeper in my spirit just feel that this is energy coming into the earth. This is the time we're living in. I don't know, did this ever happen back, say 5-10 years ago, this light show? Yeah, we used to see meteorites, but did we see a light show like this coming in? I don't remember seeing it. So I am not going to say definitely this is SpaceX burning up in the atmosphere. And I remember thinking, even maybe a couple months ago, when we were seeing stuff in the sky in the US, and I'm thinking, why didn't no one seen anything in the sky in Jamaica? I was thinking that. Why is no one seeing anything in the sky in Jamaica? And lo and behold, 369, 369, that's the day, March 6th, 2025. I just see, I think that's just a portal open and this light show started. And I just think it's just energy, whether it's energy beings, beings from another dimension. I'm not gonna say aliens, um, but it's either energy or energy beings coming in to help us raise our vibrational frequency. That's what I think the slideshow is. I do not think it has nothing to do with SpaceX. I really don't even think there's a space as we know it up there. I don't think anything can come out if I think you can come out if you have a soul. If you're a vibrational, you can come through that port. I think that's a portal up there. I think it's a firmament. I think it's a firmament, and I also think it's a portal, and only a specific group of people can come through that portal. It was put there for a reason, to keep someone or something in this realm. And I think people been trying to leave, but that firmament is keeping them inside. So if you're high vibrational, if that, can you leave that port? Can you go through that portal? Yeah. Can you come through that portals probably from another dimension? Yeah. But not I don't think everyone can come through that firmament. I think only a specific group of people can come through that firmament. So this is why I think this light show was like a portal opening in the sky, and energy, whether energy beings are just energy coming into the earth to help us in our ascension and increasing our energy and our frequency. So this is what I am. This is my opinion about the slideshow. I really don't think space. If there's a space, I think it's under the ocean. And this is just based on my dream. A lot of these opinions I have, I remember when we had, I think it's the solar eclipse last April. I had a dream and there was nothing in the sky. It's like we were all looking up in the sky and there's nothing in the sky, but it was on the earth. The eclipse was happening on the earth. So I'm guessing the eclipse was happening underneath the earth. There's an aspect of under the earth. I think in Egyptian um, history, the underworld, they talk about the underworld a lot, and we haven't explored it. Even the Bible talk about under the earth a lot, and we keep looking up, and we haven't looked really. I mean, some people out there have knowledge of under the earth, but it seems like it's more than what we can even fathom, or what we can even understand. That there's probably um, civilization, a lot of civilization underneath the earth. Yeah, there's probably civilization underneath the earth. So I really don't think there's space as we know it above us. You know, there's not space as we know above us. Everything is probably below us. And yeah, so when we see these things, just watch and see what it is. Watch and see what's going to happen. Is things going to be changed? Is there going to be a change in us, a change happening? Too many things been happening in this earth that's against nature. If you're wondering, why we need to evolve, why things need to happen, why all these things need to happen, is because we're living against nature. We're not living with nature. We're not living with nature. People can't even afford food. People can't buy food. People pay can't even pay their rent. Too much starvation, too much war. This world, nothing can survive with in this type of environment. We are divine beings. We can't be living like this. We can't. So when we see these things happening, if you're spiritual, you already expect that there has to be an end to the way we live. No other being paid to live and work as hard as we do in this realm. And it's like we can never get ahead. Well, some do, but some hasn't. And what we were taught in school and religion doesn't help us at all. Doesn't help us. No one told us that we create with our mind. No one told us how powerful our mind is. Even though we hear these words, govern our mentality, our mental ability. Everything. If you control our mind, you control us. Our mind is the powerhouse. No one told us that. In religion, they never told us, you worship yourself with the Bible they give us. Nothing's wrong with the Bible. It's the interpretation of the Bible. Oh, Jesus is coming back for us. And no, Jesus is not coming back for us. The Christ consciousness is coming at this time, or maybe already here, to give us knowledge of self, to give us knowledge and understanding of who we are. That's what that's Christ's entire ministry. Christ's entire ministry on earth is for us to understand who we are. And we think Christ's ministry is to tell us to worship him and to serve him. There's no reason to worship anything outside of ourselves. No reason. Everything is within. So we have to understand who we are. When the Bible said you're perfectly made, you are perfectly made. We don't understand that. We have to understand everything we need is within. And another thing we were taught is to blame everything outside of ourselves for whatever we're going through. No. Everything happens to us because this is the law of the universe. We reap what we sow. We reap what we sow. Nothing outside of us affects us. It's all our mind. And that's why when we come into this earth, they give us this programming to keep us in the state of lack, to keep us in the state of sickness, to keep us in the state of need, to keep us in the state of division. It's all a programming. So what I'm saying, we're in the time where this program has to end. We're in the time where we have to understand who we are, where we have to come into the knowledge of who we are and the reality of what we live in. We don't need to give our power to anyone to rule us. We don't need to be controlled. We don't. Yes, not everyone has a soul, but even those who don't have a soul are here to evolve, as I understand it, so they can get a soul. So everyone has a responsibility in this earthly experience. So we don't understand who we are, and you have to understand there's a player ahead who knows who we are. Who There's a scripture in the Bible that I read. I used to wonder what it meant, and it says they took the keys. They took the keys out of the Bible and give us the. They took the keys, the understanding out of the Bible, and just give us our interpretation of what we think the Bible is saying. So they took the keys out and just here's the Bible. Whatever you think the Bible is saying, based on your experience, based on your programming, that's you interpret the Bible the way you seem fit. And we create this big thing. We create this thing that took us further and further away from our divinity, because our interpretation is based on our perception, our experiences, and we're thinking that whatever we need is outside of us. We have to value the opinion of our friends. We have to go to church to worship God, and God is a God of vengeance, and we have to please God, and all these old wives' tale. No one ever tell us, even though that's what Christ's ministry was about. I am the way. We're not thinking that he's talking about the I am within us. We'll be like, oh, Christ is the way. We can only go to heaven through Christ. That's what we're told. We can't go to heaven unless we serve Christ. We serve Jesus. This is everything. Why would Jesus want us to serve him? We're multi-dimensional beings. Why would we want to serve Jesus? We don't need to serve anything outside this body. All we got to do, we're having this earthly experience where we forget who we are, basically. And here comes the Adam and Eve story that I want to talk about too. Yeah, we forget who we are. So we call on our higher selves. Call on our higher selves to lead us and guide us and tell us anything that we want. But no, that's too much trouble. People tell us manifestation, everything. And we no, oh, we're looking outside of ourselves. The government's gonna help me. The prime minister is gonna do this for me. Oh, the pastor is gonna do this for me. My mother, my sister, my father, everybody's gonna do stuff for me except myself, and I have the power within me. So we've been in the dark. So this is what this awakening is about, for us to come back to the knowledge of self. We are here. The reason why we're here is to find our divinity, to find our higher self, to find our Eve, our feminine aspect of us. And to go to that Adam and Eve story. Oh, wait, Eve, gave Adam the apple, and Eve sinned. Eve sinned, and we're all sinned, and we all fell short of the glory of God. And listen, we're masculine and we are feminine. And the feminine aspect of us is the divinity aspect of us. We're all divine, but that's our divine aspect, that feminine aspect of us. I know I get a lot of criticism when I say that, but that's what it is. It's not about man and woman. In other realms, it's divine, it's masculine and feminine in one. That's the law of the law of gender. There's a masculine and a feminine aspect of us. So when The interpretation of Adam and Eve, and God took the ribs out of Adam's side and created Eve. If you take the ribs, look at your body. If you take your ribs out, you become all flesh. You just become a sack of blob, just a blob, because your ribs is what keeps you, it keeps you upright. Your ribs is what. So just imagine yourself without your ribs, and it's just how Adam is really an atom. It's the splitting of the atom, and remove the feminine aspect of it. So these are things while we're in the dark ages. These are things why there have to be an ascension. These are things why it has to become the end of the programming. Because for another thing, we have to reunite with the feminine aspect of us. And that's what Songs of Solomon was talking about. The girl and the beautiful lady in Songs of Solomon, and all those beautiful songs and all that. It's talking about the God aspect of us, the feminine aspect of us. Reuniting, there has to be another marriage. That's what in the Bible, another union. So this is what's happening now in this ascension. The If you're ready, male and female, because we have to reunite. We have to come together with that God aspect of us, who we truly are. And this is how we're going to experience heaven on earth. When we have the God aspect of us, then we can create the world we want to live in. And I know when some of us hear this, they be like, oh, we're going to be like gods with superpower. But yeah, we're going to have a responsibility. It comes with responsibility. We can't just go out there and do with what we want. Even now, they say we have free will, but we reap what we sowed. For every effect, there's a cause. Everything in our lives started out. For every effect in our life, there's a cause. That's why I tell you, you create your own reality. Nothing outside of you creates your reality. Yeah. So, yeah, we have to. Since we were in darkness, so if we notice this realm, it's just being led by masculinity, masculinity, and not just because they're in their man, but because they're not tapping into the feminine aspect of us, of themselves. And that's causing war, that's causing division, that's causing um, the Mother Earth um, descending in consciousness. That's causing all that because we're not balanced. We're not balanced. Most of the earth is mainly in the masculine aspect, even some of the women. Because as a woman, if you're still in materialistic things, if you only worry about, um, if we only worry about, oh, what I'm gonna wear, who I'm gonna be married, where I'm gonna find the best man, and we're so caught up in materialistic things, we're also in our feminine aspect of ourselves. So has nothing to do with man and woman. Has nothing to do with man and woman, but who we are. So as I see what's happening in the earth, all the energy in the earth, all the vibration happening in the earth, if you can be in balance with your masculinity and femininity and create, that's going to be the currency coming into this new earth. You create with your energy, and inner God, inner God. So a lot of these words is just play on words. We gotta just spend, as you vibrate higher as your consciousness expands. A lot of things your higher self is gonna send to you. You're gonna be of knowledge of reality itself, and it goes deeper than what I'm going in today. But these are my topics today. So in this new earth, you have to, the way you create is when you're in balance, masculine and feminine is in balance. So all this egotistical, all this masculinity that we see, masculinity logical, um, science says this, it has to be spirituality. Everything has to be coming um, from the higher heavens. We're not gonna hear, maybe scientists. I'm not gonna say there's no scientists, but you're gonna hear people here. I got this download, and you're hearing that already. I got this download. I have this vision in meditation. Spirituality. Spirituality we're going into. Not logics, not nothing, oh, what can be proven. And everyone has this aspect in them. Even the ones that's evolving, there's some that's evolving that doesn't have a soul, and they're trying to get a soul. Everyone has something to gain or to lose. If you have a soul, you should be leading, you should be creating, you should be tapping into your higher self. Your soul does not die. Your soul is all knowing. Your soul, you've probably been on this earth 10,000 times. How many? Oh, you know how much time you've been incarnated on this earth? You do not die. So, if you, when we're in this time of ascension, in this time of this incoming energy that's coming into the earth, I'm telling you, your head's gonna ache, your ears gonna ring, you're gonna toss and turn. Some nights you can't sleep. Some days you're in such a high energy. Some days you're in such a low energy. This yin and yang is just to bring our DNA back. I think we're two strands DNA. Bring it back to what we were before the fall, before whoever created us. And that's another story we don't want to get in. That our creators who created us didn't want us to be like them. So they create us, cut our telomeres, I think, and only give us two strands of DNA. So this energy gonna bring our DNA back online. It's gonna bring our DNA back online. So we have to understand what. Feel your body. Don't get caught up too much in what's going on in the White House. Just work on yourself. This is the time where we work on ourselves. This is the time we work on ourselves and do the work. Do the work. We have to do the work. There's nothing outside of ourselves to protect us. Only nothing can affect us from outside. Whatever we sow, we reap. Whatever we sow, we reap. So let us just understand self. There's nothing else to understand other than self. That's Christ's ministry on earth. Let us understand self, understand who we are. Christ wanted us to know who the gods that we are. He said, greater things than what I do, you'll do. No, I never heard anyone preach that sermon. Why did Christ say greater things than he, Christ, do, we will do? Why would he say that? He said that because he knows who we are. He understands who we are. That's why he said, greater things than I do, you will do. When he said to Peter, who do men say I am? When Peter said, you are the Christ, That's the scripture that says, listen, there's a higher aspect of us. Because Jesus immediately said to him, listen, a man didn't tell you that. Man didn't tell you that. There's something inside you that told you who I am. There's something inside you that told you who I am. So that's that divine revelation that's going to take place in this end time. That divine revelation is going to take place in us, around us, in our children. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to see our children being bold. Let me tell you, I read schools, hospitals. You hear the president talking about getting rid of the Ministry of Education. He knows why. There's not going to be need for any of that. Schools, the children going to know more than the teachers, because the children is less dense. The children don't have all this programming that we adults have. That's hindering us from ascending. So the children, it's going to be so easy for them to receive this divine energy that's coming out, that's going to upgrade their DNA. The children are going to have understanding of the universe. They're going to, I'm trying to remember scripture the Bible says, the children are going to teach. They're going to teach. This is the time, because they're not all embedded in church and religion like we are. So it's easy for them to receive what the Creator, what the Source is pouring into this earth at this time. It's going to be easier for them. So yeah. So I'm just looking in the future, and you can see that there's not going to be any needs for school unless you're not vibrating at your potential, unless you're not tapping into your divine feminine aspect of yourselves. There's not going to be any need for hospitals. The way things are diagnosed, it's by your energy. They can tell when disease is coming in. When disease is coming, they can tell. So you can know what aspect of your body needs more energy. And that energy comes from outside source. That energy is not like, you only get a little bit of energy from the food you eat. The energy comes from from that divine feminine, from your higher selves. So when we hinder that energy in we not knowing who we are, our soul is constantly imprinting our mind like, hey, I'm here. I'm your higher self. This is who you are. Our soul is constantly saying that, but we are ignoring it because we're in this materialistic world. We're in this ego world. So we're not hearing that we have a divine aspect of us, and we're only thinking that whatever we see in the mirror, that's who we are. Whatever we see in the mirror, that's who we are. So we're going into the time now where we have to understand who we are. There's no ifs and buts about it. If we can't do it in this lifetime, we'll do it in the next. Or when we go back to our soul will relearn. When Doris Cannon said we're in a school, I think she was just saying, based on what we do here, it depends on where we go, what dimension we're in when we go back to our higher selves. Remember, for those of us who have soul, we do not die. We do not die. We do not die. We probably go to different dimensions, or we or we go to or we stay in a certain dimension until we understand who we are, and what until we understand who we are and what to do and what to do. So